So welcome for the third video in this 3 videos about the flyweight pattern. I introduced it, we did some graphics application where we could draw these ladybugs on screen, and this video will show how to use the pattern on that. So let's go into the actual details. So we created this where we can draw ladybugs, and it takes around 6 seconds to do that, because it takes a lot of time creating an image for each ladybug. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, instead of creating this image per ladybug, we're only having 3 sizes actually of the ladybug. We're having 15, 30 and 35 pixels. So let's just try to check up on that, try to fix that. So first off, let's put the ladybug in its own class so it can hold its own state. So let's say ladybug, and this ladybug, I think the ladybug should have something like an image that actually represents the ladybug, and also it should have something like, I don't know, let's just give the ladybug a size, something like that, and this is going to be an int. Okay, so these are the two states that the ladybug has. The image is a JavaFX image, so let's just put that here, and I'm using Alt Insert to create getters and setters for this, like that. So now we have getters and setters, and Control Space, empty constructor, and also a constructor with both of them set. So now we can fetch and remove all we want on these properties for the ladybug. So one of the things of the pattern is that now we have a ladybug. One of the things of the pattern is that we also want something for creating the ladybugs. So we want a factory class for that. So let's create a ladybug factory. I always wanted to do that in Java. Ladybug factory, and this ladybug factory is going to have one public method that returns a ladybug, and it's going to be called create. And in order to create a ladybug, we would want the ladybug to have an size. And then I'm going to say that the ladybug factory also has something here like a string that is the image URL, and I think I'm going to create a constructor that is where we force you to set the image URL. So all ladybugs will share the same image URL. So when I create a new ladybug, let's just return new ladybug and then put the image and the size here. So first off, we need to create the actual image that we want to put here. Image img equals new, let's just put import new image, and as before we should put the URL here. So I put the image URL here, I put the size and the size and the true and the true, like that. So that creates it, and then I return a new ladybug of that image and size. That's really simple. So let's just use the factory instead. So let's go back here to our main controller, and let's just change this into the factory. So instead of no, let's finish that first. So the ladybug factory here, then I'm now creating ladybugs. So still we haven't implemented the real pattern here, because in the flyweight pattern we need to have something like a cache that will see, did we already create a ladybug that looks like this? So we're going to say private hash map, and we're going to create a hash map of an integer, which is the real size, and we are going to create the value of the hash map is going to be a ladybug. So this means we're going to cache all ladybugs on their sizes so that all similar sized ladybugs are actually going to be the same. So we import that. LB cache equals new hash map. We can just do like this. Okay. So what we need to do here is we need to check if this LB cache already has the ladybug inside of it. So we can say that something like ladybug LB equals LB cache dot get, and then we need to get the one with that size. If there is no ladybug in here with that size, the hash map will return null. So then we know the ladybug is null. So then we're going to say that if the ladybug that we get from the hash map is equal to null, then we need to create one and put it in the hash map. So we're going to say create the image and then say the ladybug then equals the new ladybug with that image, and then we are also going to say lb cache dot add put, sorry, it's called put, the size and the ladybug, and then we're going to return that ladybug. So in other words, we get it from the cache, we check if there were anyone in the cache. If it's already there, we skip this and just return it. Otherwise, we create a new image because we have to do that. We don't have an image of that size. Then we create a new ladybug with that size and image, and then we put that cache here. We put the ladybug inside of the cache with that size, so that the next time someone asks for that size ladybug, we already have it here. And then we return it. So let's check that out. Yeah, let's make hash map, let's make that final. We don't want to set that, and we also don't want to set the URL. This is fixed. Whenever we created the ladybug factory, it's always the same URL. We could have another strategy on that, but let's just keep it like that. So let's go back to our controller, because now we have this. So let's put this into so now this button is doing this. So let's create another button so we can test the difference between the two. So I'm going to the fxml document and just copying the button and then putting it here. And then on this button, we're going to say no flyweight, and the other one is called with flyweight. So the no flyweight, I copied it so it has the same handler. So I'm going to say no fly click, and I'm calling the other one with fly click, just so I can remember what they actually do. Did I do something with the? No, it's good. Okay, so let's save that. So I make the controller, and now I have a with fly click and no fly click. This thing I did here, this is the no fly. So I'm going to copy that down here. Okay. And now I need the randomizer. Let's just create that here. Okay. And also I need to print out to the screen. I forgot to copy that. Okay. So I now have my no fly click, should be working like before. Let's just test that. The handle button action, I'm not using that, so I'm just deleting that. So let's just check that it actually works. Takes around 6 seconds. We tried that. No flyweight. And I can see I can't move it or anything, means that it's hanging, it's drawing. Nice. Around 6 seconds. So let's copy this to the width flag click and then change it. So now instead of doing this, I'm not going to create a new image here. I'm going to create a ladybug. So I'm going to say ladybug lb equals, not new ladybug, I'm going to use the ladybug factory for that. So let's go ladybug factory, new ladybug factory, and I need to put the image URL. So let's just take ladybug png, put that here. Of course, I shouldn't create a factory each time I go through the loop. That would be really stupid. I only need one factory. So I'm going to say fact create and then put the size here. So now I have a ladybug of that size, and it has cached if the image is already there, if there's already a ladybug there. So I can say lb.getImage like this. And that's it. So now we are getting the image from the ladybug, and this means, in other words, because here we are only generating 3 different sizes with this, we should actually, in this case here, only create 3 ladybugs and draw them on the screen. And here we will be creating a lot more ladybugs, right? So let's see what's going on. So no flyweight. We already know it takes around 6 seconds. And with flyweight took 13 milliseconds. So there's quite a difference between the two, right? We can also try, let me just try to run it again so you can see it's not cheating. With flyweight, okay, it's a bit faster. Depends, of course. So you can see it goes really, really fast. So this is actually it. Of course, in this example, this is a quite simple example here. Our ladybug, we only create a ladybug if it's already there. Maybe the correct thing to do here would maybe be to cache the images and then create one ladybug for each. If, for example, the ladybug had something like an X and Y value, other things like a name that would be common, not common to the ladybugs, we would need one ladybug per each, but they would share the same image. So we would need to change this so that instead of only creating a new ladybug, we would only create a new image if there wasn't already one there. So this is kind of wrapping the image in a ladybug and only using that as a cache, but we could do the other thing as well. Okay, so I think you would see that both memory wise and everything, this is much cheaper, of course. No flyweight. Six seconds, and with flyweight 13 milliseconds. Thank you for watching.